Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Janyawheeler, and for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all ways that you can save up for your down payment when trying to look for your starter home or your dream home or whatever the case may be. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. As you know, my videos are very straightforward. So in my videos, I really don't like saying the whole 1, 2, 3 thing, because halfway through, when I get really into a suggestion or an option, I kind of like forget about it. So I'm just gonna say the first thing, second thing, and so on and so forth. So the first way you can actually save up for your down payment is using a down payment assistance program. Now, this is not my favorite option if it's not a grant. So being that a grant is basically free money that is given to you to help you with your down payment / closing cost. And this is money that you don't have to give back. It's basically free money. Now, a loan is not my favorite option. It's probably like the last option for me when trying to talk to my clients. You're now taking on so much responsibility with your mortgage, your insurance, your taxes, like all of those things included into your mortgage. And now you're gonna actually add on another expense with the loan, because a down payment assistance loan is basically money that you borrow to help you come up with your down payment. You'll have to pay the money back on the back end. So it's not really my favorite option. Probably my last option I suggest to anyone purchasing a home. But it may work for some people. I know some people who do have it and they just pay a monthly payment every month. But like I said, it's not my favorite, being that you're already taking on so much responsibility with your mortgage, and now you have to add on another expense when it comes to your monthly expenses. The next option is a family gift. Now this one is actually more common than I thought, especially in the sphere of influence, meaning people around me. This one is basically like if you have a family member who probably already has a home, not really saving up for anything major at the moment, and they just want to help you get your down payment. So I like to ask, I just don't like people asking them flat out, like, pay for my down payment assistance. I like to say collaborate. So you save a certain amount, they save a certain amount, but you guys save it like in an account together. Like they don't have to be on that account, but you guys just save together to help you come up with your down payment. Now, some people do flat out ask, can you help me cover my down payment assistance or my down payment? And some people, like I said, may be well off or may not even want to be saving for anything specific at the moment and just have extra money around. They don't mind doing it, but this is not the case for everybody. But like I said, this is surprisingly the most common option, especially for the sphere of influence people around me. I've seen that they've asked probably their parents, or they've asked an auntie, an uncle, like a family member who is actually willing to help them purchase their first home and assist them with their down payment. So I thought that was pretty cool to know that people are out there actually wanting to help. And I know this requires a lot of humility. So if you're not ready to humble yourself and ask, skip this option. But like I said, even if you don't have family members, you can ask a friend or people who may be close around you, because you don't know until you ask. And people are actually a lot more willing than you think, depending on the people, of course. We know better than that. Before I get into the next option, I'm going to throw my disclaimer out there. Like I said, like I always say in my videos, these are just options. These are just suggestions. Like, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. God has a billion ways to bless us, to bless you, to help you with your down payment assistance. You don't have to go this route. God may take you on a whole entirely different route, and that's okay. These are just common things that I've seen with coming up with savings, and I just wanted to share it. So do whatever God tells you to do. If this is not the route for you, don't take the route. This is not a mandatory suggestion. These are not mandatory options. These are just some things that I noticed are a lot more helpful when it comes to saving up for your down payment. The next option is to cut expenses. Now, this one may not be your favorite, but like I tell people, those minute expenses in your monthly expenses actually make a difference a lot more than you think. For instance, and like I tell people, cut out the things that you don't need at the moment and cut out the things that you don't use at the moment. Meaning, if you have a membership or a subscription that's just there and it's been there for a while and you haven't really used it, cut it out. And even if you have to temporarily cut out expenses to get to a goal, that's also okay too. It's just for a short amount of time, and if you want to get it back after you close on your home, be my guest. But I always tell people, those little costs that you don't think are a big deal are actually a lot more helpful than you think. Like, I'll take myself as an example. Like, I'm not a person who really watches a lot of TV. I'm not a person who watches Netflix. So for me to get a Netflix subscription, say I had a Netflix subscription that I was saving up for a home, I would cut out my Netflix subscription because it's not useful to me. I don't watch TV, I don't watch Netflix. So I already saved $26. I don't know how much Netflix is at right now, but let's say $26 So I already, if I had Netflix and I was paying $26 a month just because, to say in case I wanted to watch TV one day, I have my subscription. But me paying that $26, I can cut out that subscription, watch Tubi for free, and now I have $26 that I'm putting towards a savings account. And you might think, oh, that's so small, but like I said, those minute expenses definitely add up a lot quicker than you think. So if you need to do some reflection on things that you don't really watch, subscriptions that are hidden in your statements, I suggest going back and looking at those, because you may have some underlying things that you didn't even know you were paying for. That can be helpful to saving for your down payment. The next one is to pay off your debt. Now this one might be like, well, why would I pay off my debt if I can try to use the money that I would use to pay off my debt to save for my home? It's a big cycle. The more you pay off your debt, depending on how much your debt is, less you may have to bring for your down payment, which means the more you actually save in the long run. Meaning your down payment rate has to do with a lot of factors, such as your credit history and your debt to income ratio and a lot more other things. So if your debt is really high and your income is really low, then try to pay off the debt that you do owe. You may not have to put so much money down when closing your home. And like I said, it's literally like a cycle, and it will make sense in the long run. The next thing is to automate your savings. Sometimes we literally have to force ourselves to do certain things, and you will literally find in the midst of that we're more capable of doing something than we actually expected. I know, like at Bank of America, for instance, and I know a lot of jobs do this, like at Bank of America, I know when you are getting your check every 2 weeks, you have the option of putting where you want that money to go, and what account you want it to go to, and how much you want to be taken out of your check. Meaning it's basically money you are not even seeing taken out of your check. You're not doing it manually, but it's automated. And I feel like that is a very helpful option if you know that you cannot actually save it, in a sense of, if you say like, okay, yeah, I know I have to put $100 towards my savings account, and you have to manually do it, but yet you never manually do it, your best option is just to automate it. At first it may be like, oh, X amount of money is taken out of my check, like you might feel uncomfortable and uneasy, but after you do it a certain amount of times, like I guarantee you're gonna even forget you're automating your savings. It's gonna be like out of sight, out of mind. So I always tell people that is honestly one of the greatest options that they've done when it comes to checks and paying people out. Like you literally can decide where you want your money to go. And if you know you're not that good at saving, force yourself to take out a certain amount of money every month in a separate account. My preference for accounts you're trying to save into, save in an account that's not easily accessible, meaning that you don't have a card to it or you don't have an app to it. If you have to delete that app or shred the card, I always tell people that's honestly the best option when it comes to saving, because if you keep checking your balance, you're going to be more prone to swiping that card, and you're going to use it for like fake emergencies. You'll literally gaslight yourself and tell yourself you need the money when in reality you don't really need the money, because if you didn't have access to it, I'm pretty sure you would find another alternative. So that's what I tell people, like try to automate your saving, or try to do it in an account where you literally have to do extra work to get the money out of there. You have to go to the branch, you have to get your ID out, you have to get another verification out. You have to make sure that you are who you say you are. And I feel like, as easy as that sounds to just show them 2 verifications, sometimes you don't feel like going into the branch. And unfortunately, you have to go into the branch if you're trying to take money out, depending on the branch it is or the bank it is. So I just feel like extra steps to make sure that you're saving the money that you say you want to save for your home, your down payment, whatever the case may be, is honestly the most helpful route out of everything that I just discussed, is put it in an account where it's not easily accessible. And that is all for this video. Hopefully you guys gained a lot of knowledge and insight when it comes to saving up for your home. Like I said, pray about it, ask God to lead you, because this might not be the route for you, and that is okay. But if you guys have any questions about anything, all of my information will be in the description box. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.